Hey there everybody, Pop on Top here. Welcome back to some more Fallout 4 mods. In today's mod we have Immersive Lighting Overhaul. So this mod attempts to change all lighting in the game, not just interior lighting, but it does do that. It makes nights darker, it makes interiors darker. It obviously has vastly affected the way that the sun particularly looks right now, right? Like, and just the lighting in general, that sky is very blue. Like the entire lighting of the things, like I'm really overexposed and saturated, and the shadows are, less so, right? Like the sun is very much like you look at the sun too, you get that nice like solar glare looking effect, right? That's the first thing I noticed when I loaded this mod up is like the sun was just hitting me in the face, and I'm like, God damn, what the fuck is that? I'm a gamer. I stay inside, you guys, right? Like I don't know what the sun looks like. That's apparently I've been told what the sun looks like. You get a big solar glare, right? So this is obviously just clear weather, kind of during the middle of the day. I'm going to look around at different locations as well as different interior cells to kind of get an idea of what this looks like. But obviously you can see it does look different. Like it's a vast difference. I'm going to cut away and we're going to quickly show off the main difference here between this mod on and off, and then with just clear weather, and then we'll cut to all the different kinds of weathers and interior cells with this mod on, and I'll see you guys in a second. So here are everybody back to vanilla. This is what it looks like. Obviously, like just extremely vastly different, right? Like this is a crazy look. The amount of difference we have going on here. Obviously, everything is like more uniformly lit in this. I guess like the shadows are less like there's less distinction between the shadows and the lit areas, and there's like. I mean, obviously, look, I straight at the sun. We don't get that solar glare or whatever. Obviously, the sun looks like a sun, and you get a little bit of an effect. But like, the modded effect is way more apparent, right? You can see some of those god rays kind of clipping on that building right over there. Anyway, but yeah, you can see over, even looking over at Concord here from the Red Rocket, like the way that the lighting is hitting everything and stuff like that is way different. Like the sky seems even less blue, right? Like by comparison, I'm like trying to look for the difference. It's a huge difference. You guys should be able to tell. I'm gonna put the mod back on. We're gonna go over all the details of the mod now. Okay, you guys got your comparison. Some people complain in my comments. I hate this shit. You guys just can't look at a video without me having to be like, this is what vanilla looks like. Dog, you playing vanilla if you don't have the mod on. Look at what your game looks like. Compare that to the video that I'm playing, and then you'd be like, oh shit, that's different. We're gonna get into the differences. We'll show off all the cool weather effects with this mod in just a second for you. Alright everybody, mod back applied here. That was a huge difference, right? Like the distinction of the buildings. You can almost like even see the buildings clearer because of the way that the lighting works and the contrast works and the shadows and everything. Like it is clearer. Like the weather's almost clear. Like the sun is less, the god rays are not so apparent when you're not looking directly at it. So it's not like coating everything in sunshine. This is 9 o'clock-ish in the morning, game time. We're going to use my cheat terminal portable here, which I have in my inventory. We can use this to mess with the weather, mess with the different times and stuff. So first and foremost, let's go through times. So we can go to world manipulation here. We can go to date and time. And time, let's make it noon, 12 p.m. So the sun should be directly above us now-ish, pretty close, right? Considering, the rotation of the Earth and its axis and all the things. But yeah, this is still lit in the middle of the day. Look at the shadows of that mannequin right there. I just learned something today when I was like messing around with this mod and looking at things. Your character only has shadows in the third person. I don't know if that's a weird thing. There's my character shadow, and then look, it's not there. The sun's behind me. There's my shadow. It's not there anymore. Like it just like literally sucks into my body. You can like literally see it for a second disappear. Anyway, it's a weird vibe. But the lighting even on my character model looks, right? Like the one side is lit, the other is not. Like the differences between the shadow and light here. Like I've covered a lot of lighting mods. This one looks really good. I think it's like clean weather is like the thing they describe it as, which is kind of an interesting take on it. I think. One thing we do have to show off here as part of the mod, not just different weathers. We will get to that though. But we're working more on our times here. So let's get to like 6 p.m. right about sunset-ish. Now, obviously, this is sunset now, right? Like, so the sun is like the nice pink hue or whatever. That's very cool. It's very dark. It's darker than it usually is. Like sunset normally, and even sunrise in Bethesda games, and particularly Fallout 4, is very orange, right? Like the whole thing turns orange. This is very dark, right? Which makes sense. Sunset starts to get dark, right? Like, I mean, I don't know why it's 6 p.m., but it is. That's about right. The sun is obviously going down more and more as we're sitting here, but it is dark, right? It's starting to get dark. You're starting to get that atmosphere, and it's going to get very dark at nighttime. We'll get to that in a little bit. We'll go to midnight. We'll make it as dark as you possibly can. But like the lighting of this is kind of crazy, right? Like I like the really pink sun too. Like it's not so like it's getting a little windy too. Maybe a storm's coming in. But let's see. Obviously, like you can even see the lighting on the Pip-Boy and stuff here. I want to show this off. We'll show this off more in a second. But the way that the lighting affects objects is kind of insane. But we'll go back in here. We're gonna make it nighttime. It's extremely dark. Similar to mods like Darker Nights and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of mods that make it really dark at nighttime. It's black. I mean, I think a storm's coming. I don't think the weather's quite clear, So we'll make it clear real quick. We're just going to go over what the times look like on a default, and then we'll get into the weather effects with that. Make the weather clear here. But obviously you see it's extremely dark. I mean, I can't see shit. Like, I can see the little glow of my fire, and like the interior lighting is nice too, though. It looks good here. I have some lights that I set up in here that I'm going to get set up, but I'm really bad at building base things. But yeah, I mean, you can see the difference between the lights. Like, this has got a light in it, the way this looks, somebody sleeping in the bed, right? It's very dark, so, like, if I was to go try to travel out at nighttime, I can't see anything. I turn my flashlight on. Like, this is where you get those mods with modded weapons where you have, like, the flashlight on the gun and stuff. You can point the flashlight directly forward, because, like, even with this, like, cone, I can't really see that far away. Like, if I turn the flashlight off, like, there's something over there lit in the distance. I mean, I wonder if you could see Diamond City from far enough away. Like, the red rocket's lit. Like, the lack of light is apparent, right? Which would make sense. It makes sense, obviously. Without lighting, it should be really dark. I just ran into my shop. Like, that's how dark it is. I can't really see the things. I like the little glow as a fusion core, though. All the things are nice. Like, the things that do look lit look really good. I'm, like, struggling to see really bad. Like, this is a mod that's going to require you to have... there's a freeze there, because the next gen update, thanks Bethesda, for doing that to me. My game did never froze before. It does look nicer, but it never froze before like that. But yeah, there's something way over there. You can see like the litness of things. There's like glowing fungus right here, and it just provides a little bit of glow, but it is very dark. This is right. You can see the lighting of things from further away. Like they're like almost beacons in the nighttime. It's not the dark. It's not as dark as some of the darker settings on darker nights and stuff like that, but it is quite dark. So we're gonna go back to the daytime here. We'll go back to the early morning here, just to show that off as well. So like about 6 in the morning, sunrise time, right? Now this looks amazing too, though. It's still pretty dark, but not quite dark enough I can see everything. The sun is starting to come up. Like that horizon line is fucking insane. That's so cool looking. It looks really good, I think. Is there like a death claw or something over here? What in the shit? That almost sounded like a death. Yeah, there's a death claw over here. God damn it, you guys. Why are you trying to interrupt my video? Are they fighting each other? Can't even see them. It is quite dark still. That's the cool thing. I mean, I do like the look of this sunrise, though. This is what sunrise looks like. It's very dark still. Like, but we could like technically, I mean, I want to let time go by a little bit, but like, what I will do here is I will take it to 9 in the morning so I can actually see these death clouds real quick. But like, so now we're like back to being sun. But like, the sun actually has a perspective. Like, the shadows look like they're peering off of the sun. There's death clouds. They're way over there. I don't think we have to worry about that too much. But yeah, you can see like, so if I open my Pip-Boy here, it kind of looks like pretty regular. You can see better shadowing and stuff on it. But if I put my Pip-Boy to the back of the thing, you do get some like nice hazy glow on it. Like, it just looks better. Like, the lighting does, I think, look better. It looks more realistic. That might not be your ideal. I have a particular preference when I prefer stylized graphics to realism, but this is like ultra realism as described in the mod, right? Where it's like super uber realistic, right? I guess, right? So realistic that it's actually not realistic. But like this, the sky very, very blue. And we have weathers to go through, obviously, as well. So I'm gonna get back to my red rocket just so those death clouds don't fuck with me. I'm probably gonna get another freeze. Nope, no freeze today, thank God. But Bethesda could fix that at some point. So all the different weathers. So apparently it says it's added new weathers. I don't know how I'm going to be able to test that because this, my cheat terminal doesn't allow me to just make those weathers happen. But we'll take our word for it. So it's dark skies now, which it should be like, cloudy. It's definitely raining a little bit. But it's not, like, the sun is still kind of out, and the lighting of this is kind of, the way that this looks is kind of nuts. I've seen days like this. I live in a particular place where it could be sunny and rain at the same time. Just like that. That's what it looks like. We'll see what other weathers we got here. We got dusty, which is a whole different thing. You're usually going to see this in, like, the Nuka World DLC. It's very windy, very dusty. It does look nice, though. The lighting and stuff looks nice here. We can see on the character. Everything's kind of shadowed in, but you can still see the sun. It's in there. It's lit enough, but like it definitely has a different atmospheric vibe to it, where you kind of just sucked all the color out of everything, right? But like, I think actually the sun's applying less color to things. Like, the sun like washes things out, like, and it doesn't wash things out as much. It washes things out that are supposed to be washed out with this mod, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Probably not. I'm just making shit up. I'm not actually just making shit up. Foggy, which is, so this mod does support the Far Harbor DLC as well, all the DLCs. So foggy would be something you see a lot in Far Harbor, but you can see in the Commonwealth, I believe. And obviously it's just a big wall of fog in every direction. Like, I can't see the sun at all. It's not there. And the lighting of that, like the way that affects things and stuff, the way that your character looks and like that, the way that the light bounces off of things and the shadow exists and all the stuff, right, is very atmospheric, right? Like, these lights are in here, and you can still see them, and they're kind of lit, but the fog just sucks the light and life out of everything. Is very, very atmospheric in that way. What weather would be next? misty, which is a little different. A little bit. They still were like enough, like it's foggy, but you can still see the sun through it, so it's misty. Also, still looks really nice, right? I'm really interested to see what a radiation storm looks like. That's like always, I think, my biggest test here. So we put a rad storm on. Yeah, this is okay. Because the lightning and stuff is always like a huge part of lighting, I think, right? Obviously, this mod doesn't affect the sounds of the radiation storm or whatever, but it is very dark, right? Like as you see, like everything's kind of shadowed. It's not quite as dark as nighttime. Obviously, there is still technically light based off of the time of the day that it is, but and those lightning flashes probably look really cool, right? Like I'm trying to get a good one to like flash on my character just so we can get that like single fucking frame of like this is what you could look like with light. Like, but like the light you can see it in the background, that those like the effect here is kind of insane. Obviously, we have interior cells and stuff to do like all like that anyway. Yeah, lighting is kind of nuts. The radiation storm is some atmosphere, right? Like we very much, I can't see Concord anymore, right? Like as an effect, it's just everything is fucking awful. That's really awful. Like in a good way, right? Like in a good, just regular rain though. Let's just clear that up. The rain here looks nice. I think it looks properly like kind of dark, right? Like not very bright. The clouds look really nice though. The lighting of all the things, right? Like it is very gray and gloomy. This is the kind of stuff. This is the weather in real life that just like makes my mood suck. Like I'm really like apparently like actually part plant because I rely on the sun to make me feel good, because this kind of weather would just make me sad. Now obviously your textures of your clothes and stuff still get wet. This mod can be used with other mods and stuff that affect the things, but you know obviously you have to mess with your load order then, and I can't tell you exactly the way that your load order should go. Now we should head into some interior cells because obviously that's not even going to be affected. We have a cave right here by our Red Rocket gas station. That's obviously its own atmospheric vibe. It's a mole rat den. Hopefully we don't have to deal with too many mole rats in here. We can if we need to, but obviously this is extremely dark, right? Like there's light coming out of that, right? Like I covered a lightweight lighting mod, which is a mod I've been using for a long time, and it has a similar atmosphere to that, where everything is very dark interiors, right? Like the glowing fungus is having just the tiniest little bit of glow that makes sense too. The mole rats are in here though. Trust me, I could not see that mole rat. I can get a 78 that I'm not hitting. That's alright. We're just gonna kill some mole rats here. That explosion even in there? Like the explosion actually I feel like is too dim though. But maybe that's just like, that should be like much brighter. I feel like it feels like it's still dark because the rest of the interior is dark. Like this fire should be brighter than this, right? Like I'm close to a fire. I guess I'm getting lit right here, right? Like it's just not quite far enough, right? I guess the fire's out now, but like technically we can throw Molotovs and see how like the lighting affects all that stuff. We're gonna go to some different other interior cells other than the cave, right? Some more like, you know, urban style interiors, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Alright everybody, we're here kind of downtown Boston area, close to Diamond City right here. It's still raining outside. Just looking at different atmosphere in different locations. We're going to head into Harbor Town here because I think this is an interesting looking spot that I believe actually is currently clear of enemies. The raiders in here aren't in here. But like a different style of interior. This is kind of a fairly well lit interior, right? Like there's a decent amount of lighting, but you can still see how... No, raiders are definitely still here, always. It's my fault. I have a mod that does that. But yeah, like the interior of this is like kind of well. I always use it. We're gonna go to Super Duper mod as well, but like it's dark in these dark corners, right? Like you can actually feel like your character's hiding, right? Like I feel like that's the big, you know, immersive part of the gameplay experience. Now it's harder to see your enemies sometimes. That man is dead. I'm gonna switch to like a more silenced weapon so we can take these people down without the chance of getting shot so much. Not that that matters too much. But yeah, like the places where it's dark, this guy was almost hiding back in this corner. Where I could see him under the glow of that, right? We do have a Molotov here. I want to see what that looks like. 10 of them anyway. So let's, if I threw like a Molotov right in here, what's that light look like?
That's right.
I killed that man. He's absolutely dead. Through the door. I cheesed him. Because you can kind of see like the fire lighting. Like I'm going to throw a little closer to me. Like, although I'm burning. But like you could see, like I'm still dark. Like that's a little bit weird. Like I feel like the fire doesn't quite apply the lighting that it should. Obviously we're not talking about big ray tracing kind of nutso shit. It's not so dynamic, I guess, right? Like that person's on fire. You can see some of the lighting from it though. The fire lighting is kind of insane when you do get it. I just feel like it's not quite as far away as it could be potentially, right? Like that's my particular deal with that. We'll go back outside though. We have more areas to explore. Obviously we got to look at Diamond City and stuff too. I don't want to make... There's a sharpen card here, right? Like, flashlight on. You can see a lot better, though, right? Like, it's a gunner in here. Why is there a gunner in it? I cannot believe I missed all those shots. What are you shooting at me for? I gotta go find out what gun that guy has. because like I really need that. Hey, it's a gun. It's a modded gun. I gotta cover that at some point. I was like, it doesn't sound like a vanilla gun. I've played enough Fallout, but I do like the flashlight lighting too, though. Like obviously, guns with the flashlight on them would be the kit, though. I think really, right? Like, but let's head back out here into the world. This is a really crazy mod. I actually do like. It's something like 2 megabytes too. It's like a tiny fucking mod, but it goes kind of crazy on the amount of stuff it does to your weather. Now, we're kind of like become overcast. We're like getting out of the rain here. But like you can see, like the lighting of the stuff. I'm in shadow, right? Like it's very, those glow sites glow more, right? Because in the shadow, but like the way that this is like plastered on it. Obviously, we're still using the next gen update, but in performance mode, I just can't tolerate quality modes sacrificing frame rate. But like the shadows are gonna draw in from a little bit longer way. Right now, we're gonna go towards Diamond City. I believe that's. I'm like trying to remember how to get there. It's like around here. We're gonna kind of run through here as we're doing so. Going rad rushes. I mean, it is maybe a little bit harder to see, but it's definitely more immersive. Like, look at Diamond City there practically, but because the shadows load in and stuff. Like, obviously, if you play on quality mode settings, I can't change that on the fly, and I'm not going to do that right here. We can head into Diamond City here and take a look at what Diamond City looks like. Obviously, we got to go up high, up on the elevator, and look over the thing, and we can mess with some weather effects while we're in Diamond City. But like this opening scene of looking in the market right here, obviously very lit, very colorful. It does load in shadows as you walk in here. Like I said, performance mode settings on this, right? If you're playing on quality mode, it might, you know, have better shadow draw distance and stuff like that. I don't believe the shadows draw any faster anyway. I need this elevator, please. We're going to go up. Right now, it is currently kind of overcast. Let's make it clear for now, just so we can show off that as whether, you know, whether I didn't hit it. There's a lot of buttons to click. I apologize. So this is clear weather. Like, the way that the colors and everything stick out. The weather is, like I said, it's kind of hard to describe as like a why it is, because I'm not like a person who's particularly like an expert on any of these things, on how to describe things necessarily. But like the weather is more clear. Like it's easier to see everything. Like it's not. I don't know. That is tough to describe here. So we're gonna ride the elevator up. We're gonna take a good look at Diamond City from above here, with all these different kind of weather effects on there. Obviously, I think it looks really nice though. I think. Because we're going to get up high here, we're going to see lots of things. We're going to see lots of buildings in the background. One of the highest points, not the highest, but like one of the highest points in the game, where you can really see what weather looks like up here, right? I'm just going to stay on the elevator though, but I'm going to take a look. Let's change the weather up some more, right? So like if it was, let's say it was raining here, right? It's a vibe. Those lights just flash? Are they supposed to do that? Like, is that like the lightning coming off of them or something? I'm not really sure. I don't think there's lightning during rain normally, is there? No, there definitely is. That's lightning. That's kind of insane looking. God damn, this game still looks great. I don't care what anybody fucking says. I don't care what anybody says. This game looks amazing still. So, like, let's go back to that radiation storm. Just terrify all the residents of Diamond City. You can't even see down into Diamond City, because it kind of combines, like, a foggy look with, like, the stormy look. Oh, my God. It's terrifying. It makes you want to get inside. I really do. I think we'll just go back to like some dark skies, like just a little bit of rain there. You can still see pretty far. The sky is still kind of bluish. That's all interesting. It's cool stuff, right? Let me ride the elevator back down. I have a couple of interior cells that I'll show off more, but I think you guys get the idea. The big thing with the interior cells is that they're going to be darker, right? Like everything about them is going to be. The thing about the lightweight lighting mod that I was using is that I think it did a better job of lighting up the lights, but it didn't affect the exterior cells. It was only an interior cell thing. The weather didn't really get changed like it does in this mod. So what I have here is my Zombie Arena arcade mode right outside of Diamond City. We're going to head to that real quick. That'll allow me to go to 3 different interior cells that I use to like fight enemies and stuff like that. But also, we could just go into them just to show off what those cells look like without enemies in them if we don't spot anything in, I think. That's the plan. So we got the Super Duper Mart, which we're going to go to first, because I think the Super Duper Mart is like some of the best examples of like how to do lighting, because it has exterior lighting coming from the windows. Not actually, because obviously it's a cell, but you know. So we go to the Super Duper Mart here. But there should be like, there's artificial exterior lighting. I don't think it's actually coming from exteriors, right? So you have like these windows here where this exterior lighting is coming in, and that looks really nice. You can see that on my character. That it defines a really actually nice looking shadow on my character there. It's not. It's really kind of crispy. I actually think so. But like some of these corners are gonna be real dark. Like this lighting here is very dim. The interior lighting is dim in comparison, right? Like back here is like pitch black. There's no lights here. Why would there? Why would it be lit, right? Like I think I like that. I like a lot because like, you know, it is technically realistic. It's not like the default Fallout 4 is way too lit for no reason. Obviously, it's a gameplay benefit for people like, you know, that are casual who are not going to want the most immersive gameplay experience with like this little bit of light pouring in. Obviously, normally you got ghouls kind of hopping in through these windows. That's a little bit of flickering, and that it's probably not perfect by any means, but that's I think because of Fallout 4's generalized performance mode performance. I talked about this before, so we'll exit this one. Looks nice though. It is a good example of what the lighting looks like. Very dark though. So we'll go to the USAF Satellite Station Olivia. This is a location you go early on in the game for the locket or whatever. This is a very dark location too, but it is actually fairly lit. It's not too dark, right? Because there's lighting in almost every one of these rooms. I was gonna say like this wall is really dark here. So like the difference between this being, I mean, it's not super lit either. It's just lit enough. It's light here, like nothing here. Like you cannot even really see my character's face in that. Not too well anyway. Obviously this is all like the thing about covering all these mods. I really like to look at this fusion core here. It's very lit. Like it's like, hey yo, come grab me. It's one of those things that like it's the deal that like the shadows of this look really nice. It's just not overly lit, right? We took a lot of the lighting out of the thing, made it dark. You can see some of the reflections of that light. Obviously not perfect reflections or anything like that, but it does look nice, I think. I think this place in particular looks nice. It's more lit than the Super Duper Mart is, but there's like your dark corner back here, right, where you do nothing. There's stuff here, and you can see it. Even with the flashlight on, it does look different, I think. Some Psycho there. We'll take that, sure. The bathroom's back here. There's the one light on the wall here. It's not like the lighting has changed. It's not like a brand new, you know, ray trace light source out of this or anything, but the atmosphere is different because of this mod on. So we're going to go to our last location that we can use with the Zombies Are in Arcade mode, and that's pretty much it. But I do like this mod a lot. I'm going to keep it on for now. I do think it's doing a good job of changing up the weather and the lighting to make it look what I would consider better. Now, better is a personal preference, and everybody, well, not everybody. I mean, literally, there's a statistical chance that you have exactly the same display as me, with the same display settings, the same. The lighting kind of popped in there, the way that worked. Yeah, because it like popped in for the first time. But this is a fairly well-lit location too, but it's still like the atmosphere of this is way darker, right? Like little sparks flying off of that there. The sparks obviously don't have light. Like it's not changing up the way that the lighting effects work. It's just changing effect like the color palette and to make it seem hyper realistic, as they say. But this might look bad on your screen, right? Or it might look better for you than it does even for me, right? Like because it's the way your colors are displayed are partially due. Like obviously, like I said, if you're playing with the quality mode settings on too on the next gen update, or if you have this mod on the original Xbox One, it's going to look different, right? It's going to be different depending on the settings that you're using, right? Or if you're on PC, you can kind of like, you know, all these things are different, right? You could technically maximize settings on PC. It's all complicated, you know, setup. But like for me, I think this is good. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you do want to check out this mod for yourselves, there will be a link in the top of the description to the Bethesda.net page as well as the Nexus mod page. And then you could download the Immersive Lighting Overhaul, 2 megabytes, tiny little file size. But I do think it does make a dramatic impact in how the lighting looks. Now, it may not be to your preference either, but I like this look a lot, I think. I like it like, you shut the fuck up. If it gets 60-minute man copyrighted. The frames here are bad. Yeah, I think it looks great, though. You guys let me know what you think. I really do want to comment on this one. I want like general opinion because like I can have an opinion about something, but I think on this particular mod I really want your opinion. If you guys have enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like rating down below. We'd greatly appreciate that. If you guys are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe that we can check out more videos from me. And pretty much other than that, you guys have a good rest of your day, whatever it may be, and I will see you in the next episode.